Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be showing you another question where it's a worded question, and you have to apply your knowledge of quadratics to be able to work the questions out. And you're able to use a Classpad as well, which I had up earlier. There we go. You can use your Classpad to actually graph it and to actually find some of these numbers, some of the answers. Okay, so it's a useful tool, so please make sure that if there's a calculator answering your question, use it. It is very much worth it. Okay, let's have a look. So a housing market analyst was trying to predict the best time to purchase a house during a slump in sales and the consequent fall in prices. She felt that the decline in prices and the rise that was expected to follow would be according to the rule. So this rule right here, just noting that these numbers are in the thousands. So this is 590,000. Okay, so where T is time in months. Okay, if her quadratic model of the situation is correct, what is the average house price when T equals 0? What's the average house price when T equals 15? And when, for what value of T, should she purchase a house, and what should she expect the average price to be then? All right, so remembering in a previous video that I showed you guys with another worded question, these worded questions are always trying to sneak in and trying to make it harder for you to figure out what is the question actually asking. And for quadratic questions, they're always trying to ask you, can you find the y-intercept or the turning point? Can you tell me the nature of the graph? Can you tell me the x-intercepts? Or can you tell me, oh, there's one more. I can't remember on top of my head now. I'm sure it'll come back to me later. Oh, a coordinate, that's right. There we go. Okay, so it's always going to ask me for one of those 5 things. Okay, so just noting that, try to figure out which one of these things it's going to be for when you work it out. Okay, so let's look at our first one here. So what is the average house price for when T equals 0? So this is in other words, this is basically our equivalent to X, and this average house price, I guess, is our equivalent to Y. Okay, now this X or T is equal to 0. That should be an indicator and to tell you that if it's equal to 0, it's an intercept, it's a y-intercept. So for this particular question here, it's actually asking you to find the y-intercept of the graph. Okay, so let's use a Classpad and to actually plot this graph. So I'm going to type that in now, 0.6t. Oh, I'm going to use x actually in this example. I feel like the Classpad works better when it's x plus 590. All right, so let's execute and then graph it. Now, if you have trouble seeing it, go zoom auto, and there we go. Even though you didn't see it earlier, now here it is. Nice and clear for you as well. And making sure that your turning point is also in sight. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my knowledge of my Classpad. I'm going to go to analysis. I'm going to go G-solve. And then I'm going to go into y-intercept. Okay, let's do that. So analysis, G-solve, y-intercept. Here we go. It's telling me that my y-intercept, sorry, it's up here. It's up actually at the very corner up here somewhere. That your y-intercept is 590. So the y-intercept is found at 590. So that means the average house price at the beginning, basically at the beginning of when someone was, the market analyst was trying to actually figure out the downfall and rise of house prices. When she first measured it, average house price at 0 months was 590,000, because remember, it's measured in thousands. Okay, let's go question B. Question B here. What's the average house price for when T is equal to 15? Now you can see here, which one of these is it going to match? Well, it's definitely not the y-intercept. It's not the turning point, because usually turning point will mention some sort of maximum or minimum, or the greatest, or the least, or the something like that, one of those keywords. The nature will talk about minimum, maximum, concave, up or down. And x-intercept will talk about kind of like the distance away from the origin, or like the cliff, or whatever the context is, or we'll talk about from the very beginning, or something like that. That's when you talk about x-intercept. Now, coordinate will give you a specific time frame or a specific day, or I don't know, depending on the context, it will actually tell you a number, and you have to figure out the other. So in this case, this is actually referring to a coordinate. So it's telling us that if I give you t, can you work out what A is, or our average house price. And again, because we have changed it to X, that's what it's looking for. So when X equals 15, or along this X axis, what if X equals 15, what is my Y value, or what's my average house price? Okay, now I'm going to use analysis GSolve again. Analysis GSolve, and there's actually a little feature in here with XCal, YCal. Now I'm going to be using the YCal because I know the XCal. I know the X. I'm going to use that to find the Y and calculate it. Okay, so enter X value here. So my X value in this case is 15. So I'm going to type that in. Press OK. Whoops. Whoops. Okay. Let's have a look here. Let's see where that's gone wrong. Let's try that again. My X value is 15. Why is that happening? Sorry guys, let me just see if I can figure that out. There we go. So when X equals 15, I'm not sure why that happened before. Here we go. So when X equals 15, your Y equals 545. Okay, so you're going to use YCal and type in X value equals 15. So then my coordinate is now 15 and then 500, and sorry, it's been blocking there, 545. Yeah, so that number there. So that tells me that when after 15 months, the house price after 15 months, the average house price is 545,000. Okay. All right. So let's look at this last bit here. So when, for what value of T should she purchase a house, and what should she expect the average house price to be then? So what for this one here, what we're trying to do is we're going to figure, okay, well, I found my way intercept. I found out the coordinate. Now, which one of these must she be asking for? So if she wants to purchase a house, now in this thing of in this context, no one's going to want to buy a house when it's like really expensive. No, everyone's going to want to buy it at its like cheapest price. So in this case, it's actually going to find the minimum point or your turning point here. So that's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find the turning point. So to find the turning point, I'm going to use my GSolve again. So analysis GSolve. Now my graph is a minimum graph, so I'm actually going to find the min. So analysis GSolve min. Oh, sorry, wrong one. I pressed the wrong one there. GSolve min. There we go. So it's telling me that after 10 months, the average house price will be $530,000, which is at its cheapest. Okay, and so that's when she should buy it. So for value of T, so this is your T is actually 10 months, and then the house price is going to be 530,000. All right, I hope that was helpful. I'm sorry about the little glitch earlier. It's because now thinking about it, the graph actually wasn't further enough away. So because they were looking for 15, my graph didn't show it. So it's important that you zoom out as much as possible. So I apologize for that. But yeah, I hope this video was really helpful in terms of trying to break down all these kind of worded questions. I find that these ones always get people down in assessments, and they kind of get confused because they don't know what they're looking for and all this stuff. So I really do hope this was useful. And please check out some of my other videos if you're interested. All right, thanks very much for watching.